What's up, guys? Welcome to Superwise. I'm John, and The Batman is releasing in theaters any day now. People have already seen it. Some people have seen it early. I plan to see it on Saturday and also do a spoiler review Saturday, so look out for that. And I'm so incredibly hyped for The Batman that I just wanted to make this fun personal vid, share some of my personal experiences, because going to the movies is not just any ordinary day. It is an event. It is game day. You make an entire day out of it. I could barely go to sleep the night before when it's a movie that I'm just dying to see. I just get so excited. Theaters are like my second home. I love going to the theaters. I love the experience. Walking into that theater, sitting down, watching a Noovie is what they call it at AMC. It used to be called First Look back in the day. It builds up hype, and then the lights dim, you watch those epic previews, and then the movie plays. It's just a magical experience to me. And streaming is cool and all that, but movie theaters, that's where it's at for me. I am a huge defender of movie theaters and physical media, stuff like that. I'm a traditional guy. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to share my top 5 best movie theater experiences of all time. These movies that were just so epic, so surreal, so amazing that I'll never forget going to the theater to see this and witnessing just this event, this amazing event. So without further ado, let's get into my list. In 5th place, we have Captain America Civil War. I remember seeing the first official trailer in the library, and I was just freaking out because we got hints of the Avengers fighting in Age of Ultron. But now, at this time, we were getting a whole movie of them split apart, choosing teams. I mean, epic. Just epic. But the main draws were, first off, Spider-Man. That was groundbreaking back in the day. When we got the news that Andrew Garfield was no longer Spider-Man, that universe was done. Spider-Man is going to be rebooted in the MCU. Sony and Marvel Studios are going to be working together. I mean, it was a dream back in the day. Like, Spider-Man is finally going to be where he belongs with the other iconic Marvel heroes. And seeing him in that theater, it was amazing. Seeing him swinging, cracking jokes. I loved that introduction. Plus, this was a Spider-Man who was an actual kid. He wasn't like an adult in high school. He looked the part, he sounded the part, and it was just amazing to see him grab that shield, Captain America's shield, and just enter that badass. I mean, wow. The second main draw was Black Panther, a new character in the MCU. Back in the day, I saw him in the cartoons and the comics, and I was like, yeah, he's such a cool character. So bringing him in live action for the first time, that was awesome. And you got Chadwick Boseman, who I saw in films previously, like 42 and Get On Up. He was phenomenal in those, and he was fantastic in the role. May the king rest in peace. So yeah, overall, seeing Spider-Man in the MCU for the first time, seeing Black Panther in the MCU for the first time, and seeing that airport battle, I mean, just jaw-dropping. In 4th place, we have Thor Ragnarok. I remember we had the choice as a family to go see this movie or Justice League. Thank God I chimed in Thor Ragnarok because we did not regret it. So I remember walking into the theater. The theater was pretty much packed. Probably like one of the most full theaters I've ever been in. And right from the get-go, with Thor talking to Surtur, with the Immigrant song playing, and then he flies away from that dragon, and it cuts to that title card with that badass techno synth rock music by Mark Mothersbaugh. I mean, I was hooked. This is my second favorite MCU movie of all time. First, of course, being Captain America, the First Avenger. It is just so much fun. It is a blast. I can't even describe it in words. It was just so fun. It's one of the most fun, rewatchable movies I've ever seen, period. I love it. I adore it so much. It has heart when it needs to. The comedy, still to this day when I rewatch it, hits. It is genuinely funny. Taika just knocked it out of the park, man. I cannot praise this movie enough. This is just the definition of a blast. From start to finish, it never gets boring. It's never not entertaining. It's beautiful to look at. It's like a Jack Kirby comic come to life, and this movie like reinvigorated the Thor franchise. This is what we wanted to see. Thor in space doing space things, like hell yes. And rewatching this movie recently has just made me more hyped for Thor Love and Thunder. I'm gonna be there day one. I love this movie. It's just, this experience was just so much fun. In third place, we have Avengers Endgame. I remember sitting down in construction tech freshman year. The trailer had just dropped. I was so hyped to watch it. Remember when we didn't know what the title of the movie was going to be? Was it going to be Infinity Gauntlet? What was it going to be? But then the trailer revealed to us it was Avengers Endgame. That was a cool reveal. And very simply, this movie, I'll never forget it because it's the culmination of everything I've been watching since 2008. I was there for Iron Man since the very beginning. So seeing this movie wrap up arcs from the OG Avengers, it was very satisfying and very bittersweet. Like when Tony Stark died, it was like, wow, this really is the end for him. Tony hugging his dad. We just got a lot of closure to these arcs, and it was very satisfying, very bittersweet, and the payoffs were earned. Like when Steve Rogers went back in time to settle down with Peggy Carter. They had that dance and the movie ended. I was like tearing up because that's what I wanted for the character since 2011. Him passing down the shield to Sam Wilson. Just getting all this closure. It was very satisfying. And the movie was epic. I mean, the final battle with all the Avengers fighting Thanos and his army, I'll never forget it. Of course, it was amazing to see the Avengers go back in time, back to these unforgettable, epic MCU moments in history that we've all seen and we all know. Just epic. This movie is the definition of epic. I love it. I really do. It was very satisfying, and it was a great moment in the theater. Of course, I have to talk about Cap lifting Mjolnir, because I was the only one in the theater who wanted to jump up and scream, "Oh my God, Mjolnir!" Like, I was losing my mind, and no one in the theater reacted like I did. So that was disappointing. But hey, you know, is what it is. I lost my mind during this movie. This movie was amazing, and I'll never forget it. In second place, we have The Avengers. This movie was unprecedented. No one had seen anything like this before. It was truly groundbreaking. I remember rewatching the solo MCU movies and realizing, oh my God, in 2012, they're all gonna come together and they're gonna fight as a team. Seeing their character arcs continued, seeing their interactions with each other, it was groundbreaking. I mean, that circle around shot with all of them together in the Battle of New York, iconic. This movie is just iconic. It changed cinema forever. I remember vividly this experience. I was in the theater. They played the trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, which I was just infatuated with. I loved that trailer, but then the main movie played. We saw the Avengers title card. At that moment, I was like, buckle in, baby, because it's about to get epic. And it did. I will never forget it. It's just truly one of the greatest pleasures of my entire life, being able to witness this culmination of these superhero movies. For the first time, we are never going to experience something like this ever again. And I'll never forget it. How groundbreaking and amazing it was. I remember the shawarma post-credit scene, that Thanos tease. This movie is just, I'll never forget. But in first place, it just has to be Spider-Man No Way Home. And right off the bat, it's because of Tobey and Andrew. I grew up with Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi franchise. Tobey Maguire was like my childhood hero. And Andrew Garfield, I love his first Amazing Spider-Man movie. I think he's incredibly underrated, and I remember seeing the two movies in theaters. So seeing them back, seeing all three generations of Spider-Man together, acting like brothers, it was truly a gift. I'll never forget how when Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire came out of those portals, not only me, but the entire theater were screaming at the top of their lungs because it's incredible. There are no words to describe how amazing these reveals were. And of course, you have their respective villains back. I mean, seeing Alfred Molina back, Willem Dafoe back, Thomas Hayden Church back to voice Sandman. And then you have Jamie Foxx Electro, and even Lizard. and them coming together forming like a Sinister Five, that's literally a dream come true. All three Spider-Men versus their respective villains. I mean, wow. And that final shot of Tom Holland in by far, my favorite live-action Spider-Man suit of all time. It is literal perfection. I love the shiny blue sheen of it. Seeing him swing through the snow and the movie ends, it was just phenomenal. It's just so surreal to see Tobey and Andrew do interviews with Tom Holland. It's like, what? It's truly the best experience I've ever had in a theater. Movie theaters are magical, and being able to experience these epic movies in such a theater is truly an honor and a pleasure. I love being at theaters, and I cannot wait to see The Batman in a glorious movie theater experience. It's funny because I'm both a Marvel and DC fan. I just find it really funny how the best 5 experiences I've had in a movie theater are Marvel movies. I find that really funny. And of course, I love my DC movies. I love Man of Steel. I love Shazam and Aquaman. But just these are the movies that really just made me have the time of my life in a theater. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What were your top 5 best movie theater experiences? Or what was your number 1 favorite best movie theater experience? Very curious to see what movies made you guys just have an amazing time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That'll be all for me. Remember my catchphrase, guys. Stay super wise.